Are you really ready to spend your entire life looking for love? Looking for the one, the most spectacular, the most brilliant? Knowing the fact that when you find that person, that you will spend the remainder of your life trying to change that person. Now we can laugh at that and we can recognize that that's totally daft. But if we take a moment, we can also recognize that that's exactly what love is. There's no escaping this, no matter what age you're watching this. Think of your parents. You love them dearly. They are beautiful and magnificent. They are spectacular to you. Yes, 100%. But when you're going to be a parent yourself, are there certain things that you will do different? Yeah, there always is. It's like, I would have skipped out on this moment. I would have maybe tackled this moment a bit different. The world is changing and you just weren't quite up to speed on that one. Or you overdid it on that one or whatever it is, but you're going to have some comments. So there's no escaping it. And when it comes to an intimate relationship, that is the most difficult relationship. That is the relationship that opens all the doors to every kind of problem and chapter and aspect of yourself that you want to talk about and the ones you don't want to talk about. So, understanding this, are we ready for that? To spend our entire lives searching for the one, knowing that for the rest of our lives we will spend our time trying to change them. So, there's a few, that's an explosive comment. That is an explosive topic to try and talk about here. So you're going to have to give me some bit of kind of foreground here to allow me to put some things on the table first before we really kind of dig into exactly what's going on with that dynamic and why that dynamic is the dynamic that we cannot escape and is something that we need to come into relationship with in a healthy way. So first is that to understand the world, we need to map it. We need to understand, oh yes, this is a chair and it behaves like all other chairs. If it breaks, then it's no longer a good chair. Okay, then we have a teacher perhaps. Okay, this is a teacher. They are here to teach. Again, if they don't fall within the blueprint that we have for them, okay, now they're either not a teacher or they're not a good teacher. It's the exact same when it comes to friends, family, and yes, loved ones. Or intimate relationships, romantic relationships, in the fact that, okay, we notice them. There is a moment of divinity. There is a moment of something spectacular where they catch your attention in a certain way. And I don't mean love at first sight. I mean after a month, after months, after years perhaps, that the pattern just clicks and you're like, damn, that's inspirational. That is something more than that is, I think that might be love. So, all to say is that to understand someone, to recognize them at all as a person, as an object in the world, we have to map them somehow. We can't ask all of the questions beforehand. So, with that, we have to understand that our way of approaching the world is just innately flawed. What we see isn't everything, and we have to give that one up. But especially when it comes to people, because when it comes to people, we don't know our own way of moving in the world. We are perplexed by that constantly. It's what causes us to fall into vices, what causes us to fall into misbehavior of whatever type, or even the virtuous behavior, the good behavior. As in, it's not fully understood why that either, so let's not pretend. But all to say is that we are a mystery to ourselves. So of course, people are going to be mysteries to us, which means that yes, of course, we're going to fall into this dynamic of understanding them, having a grasp of who they are. We're going to map them out somehow, and the map is going to be wrong. But the thing is, it was the map that was this divine moment of inspiration. It was this clicking. I was like, I saw it. And for me to see it, I had to map it. I can't see it without it. So there's the foreground. That is a very strange sort of premise, but for you to see something, you have to mistake the other things. You will know this if you have scrolled on the internet and you've seen these visual tests where either numbers are hidden or faces are hidden or whatever, any of these kind of visual illusions where it takes a moment to see what's actually there, but once you see what's there, you can't unsee it. That's kind of what I mean. For us to perceive, it's not a straightforward process. So a map is needed, and that's what causes the problem. So understanding then that mapping is the problem, not the person. This is where we want to get to. Okay, so when then later down the line and we hit one of these moments of tension, one of these moments of conflict, and we say like, you know, why did you, and I can't believe you, or famously, you didn't do it back then, or back then you used to behave different, used to treat me different, used to do these things, whatever it was. But we are in that moment very distinctly, we are comparing them to the map. So once we understand that the map is essential, but is also the point of irritation or misapprehension, then the question is, can we take a meta position even when emotions are high? Can we say that, so let's take a conflict and we'll go for the stereotypical masculine being dampened, repressed, like not having access to their emotions, and the feminine being overly emotional and being unpredictable. So the question is, can the feminine look at the masculine and say, and again, this is just a stereotype, so maybe I'll step away from those, but can person number 2 look at person number 1 and say, God damn it, your inability to open up here in this moment is ridiculous. As in, like, it's causing issues. Why, like, can I do whatever it is? But, and here's the important part, with the recognition that that exact thing is part of the person. It's part of their character and it's part of what's loved. So, God damn it, your repression here, the fact that you cannot talk about your emotions when it comes to this bit of, we'll keep it nice and we'll say this bit of art or this bit of, like, you know, performance, theatre, movie, whatever it is, and you can't talk about it, and it's like you're ruining the rest of the evening, you're taking this away. Okay, with that, also saying, it's like, look, I love that you're able to take on so much and that you're slower with your words and you're kind of like, you know, you don't emote quite as much, but in this moment, I'd really like to open up a space where we can talk about it, where we can do this sort of thing. Even though I know that's not your forte, it's not your space, but can you meet me here? Again, this isn't, so the important part here is that it is recognizing that the dynamic that is irritating in the moment is also a dynamic that is beneficial in another moment, because every dynamic is. So this, like, you can just bullshit your way through life with this one insight of every dynamic, every like piece of advice, every way of being in the world is advantageous in one situation and isn't in another. Again, Einstein famously said that if we measured sharks on their ability to climb trees, that they would go through their entire lives thinking that they were fools. I'm butchering that that quote and that analogy, but you get the message of it. So we can be the exact thing that makes us adaptive in one situation will be the thing that makes us maladaptive in a different situation. So just recognizing that paradox, recognizing that as just part of being human, and the fact that our map at the moment, coming back to love and this intimate relationship, our map would like those edges just to be a little bit like just nuanced, but our approach to it has to be nuanced. Okay, And then on the flip side, so we'll give the person 1 to person 2. So the emotionally guarded person towards the person who is more emotionally overt. And geez, I'm overwhelmed by like how much emotion is there. I'm overwhelmed by just how big, and not really being able to make sense of it and stuff like that. And also the fact that you seem to be that it seems to be too much for you as well. Something like that. Okay, so this is sensitivity to emotion, and the fact that they are voicing their emotions and feeling it fully is kind of like, okay, yeah, that's, as in like, whew, it's a bit too much at the moment, but it's also exactly what allows you to navigate spaces. It's also exactly what helps you build bridges between people that I just couldn't do, or it's exactly what makes the person quicker to high energies, to enthusiasm, and different things like that. And again, this is the thing that makes them adaptive in one situation, but is now maladaptive in the current situation. So the question is, and we'll come full circle to this, is, are you ready to spend your entire life searching for love, searching for the one, the most magnificent, and then once you find them, spending the rest of your life trying to change them? So this is basically saying, are you ready to accept that natural tension between you? That essentially in a relationship you are a left eye and a right eye, and while they mostly overlap, there are parts that don't overlap. Person 1 is stronger in a certain situation, takes leadership there. Person number 2 is stronger in other situations and takes leadership there. And that also on the flip side, person number 1 might be really poor at something, and person number 2 might need to like step up and just be like, oh geez, I have to carry this. And again, that person number 2 might not be able for something, and might be like that the partner can actually make the situation worse, and not in our field of expertise, but in a field where we've to step up to something. We've to step into that and just be like, wow, they're really bad at this. It's like they really cannot. If it comes to social things, whether it comes to skills, whether it comes to hobbies or relationships or any of these aspects. Again, family, friends, work, hobbies as your 4 pillars of life. And perhaps there will be certain hobbies that are just brutal, but you want to do it anyway because it might be fun. So yeah, all to say, so again, are we willing, myself included obviously, to accept that natural tension, that the other person will always be different, and in a moment of tension or a moment of conflict, you might say that their like arm here is in the wrong place, or it's just, I'm using this as an analogy, so this might be their proclivity to emotion, or proclivity to aggression, or their proclivity to emotional repression, or their proclivity to go to your attachment styles, to be anxiously attached or to be avoidantly attached. These different tendencies, or even just different interests, hiding away with books or with movies or however they spend their evening. Okay, and that might be exactly the thing that's causing an issue. And you might say that, okay, this evening, just whatever it is, like these hairs are causing an issue. Now, I'm not trying to get rid of the whole arm. I recognize that you are a certain type, and that this is your arm. It's part of who you are. The fact that you like movies, the fact that you like, or the fact that you tend to avoid is part of who you are, or the fact that you tend to be anxiously attached is part of who you are, or any of these type of things. Recognize it as part, but just say, okay, in this moment, can we like just get rid of those rough edges, those hairs? Can we get rid of that? because it's causing an issue here at the moment. Here's the important part, with the full recognition that that's not a promise that it won't happen again. It is simply drawing the line. So again, this is the thing, is that here's the map, and I do want you to try and live up to this, or I do kind of want this to be respected or to be acknowledged, that this is my kind of entry ticket into the relationship. I want time in the evenings, or I want whatever it is. Usually time and attention. But you can go through your 5 different languages of love, whether it's words of affirmation or whether it's acts of service, your time, whether it is gifts, and I'm forgetting the last one. But so here's my blueprint. In this moment, can we smoothen this out with the full recognition that I'm not trying to get rid of your artistic flair. I'm not trying to get rid of the fact that you do tend to be you do tend to do acts of service more than words of affirmation. But in this moment, could you give me words of affirmation, please? That type of thing. So again, not trying to get rid of the arm, but just trying to recognize our feelings in the moment. And recognize that the arm is still there, and that the arm is loved, and that the tension between the two of you in the relationship will not be resolved and will not go away, and will cause issues in the future, guaranteed, but that is a dynamic that we're willing to do. So, full circle, let's come back again. Are you ready to spend your entire life looking for love, looking for the one, only for you to spend the remainder of your life, once you find that person, trying to change them? And for that to be an accepted part of the relationship. And for that not to come with too much force. And for that not to come with an expectation that this will be resolved. But know that this is baked into the cake. We will see the world different from each other. And I enjoy having you as a partner and your way of seeing the world as different to mine, even in the frustrating moments, even in the irritating moments, even in the moments where it's causing difficulty. Yes, I still want you to be the right eye to my left eye, or whatever analogy you want to use here. So, with all of that said, I hope this has helped. Maybe it helped explore some intimate relationships. Maybe just helped you explore the philosophy of what it is to be human, how we perceive the world, and maybe just for general relationship negotiation or navigation, in the fact that this is true for our friends and our families and our community at large, that we will see the world differently, and that one person might uphold the rules and the other person might uphold the risk-taking part of that's necessary as well. So, with all of that, I hope this reaches you well. I hope you've had a great week. I hope you're looking forward to the week to come, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.